Hello, 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 and welcome to this very special late night edition of Thoughts for Vision. I know y'all wondering, like, okay, why are you taping this late? Well, I just decided one thing, I'm up, but also, too, instead of playing around with trying to rush and do a show in the morning, I decided to just, hey, even though it's late, I have all of my time to take to do the show now. So those of you who are up with me at this time, great. If not, this will be left for you in the morning to check out, okay? So thank you for those of you who come in advance, tune in. If not, hopefully you'll be checking this out in the morning when you get up. Just a few things. This is updates and more updates where I just update you with stuff about me, thoughts for vision, rip and run, all that good stuff. You know the drill by now. But I was just pressed to come on with you today because it seems like within the last little over 48 hours, not quite 72, but definitely at least over 48 hours, I just been blessed with some good word. And I just wanted to share with you on that as well as a couple updates, okay? And one new announcement that I want y'all to check out because it's going to be starting this Sunday. Definitely want to share with you what, and for those of you who don't know by now, I go to West Angeles Church of God in Christ, where my pastor is presiding Bishop Charles E. Blake. And he shared a message on this past Sunday, and thank God they had the paper about it on at Bible study tonight, which was cool because I really enjoyed the message, and it was three things that was listed on it, and I couldn't remember the third thing. I was like, da-da-da-da. I was like, what is the third thing? And they blessed me with this beautiful paper on tonight. Okay? So I just want to share with you what Bishop shared with us on Sunday. And the title of his message this Sunday was Expect, Believe, and Act on Your Miracle. Because see, it takes all three. See, we either try to do one without the other two, or one of the two without the one, or we don't do none of it. But it really takes all three. And let me read that again. That was the title of his message on this past Sunday. Expect, believe, and act on your miracle. See, that's like a three-step. It's one thing, first of all, to expect that God is going to be doing some great things in your life. You got to expect that, first of all. Then, number two, you got to truly believe that. You got to truly believe that he has a miracle for you. And then, number three, which I kept forgetting, but thank God for this paper, I've been reminded, then you got to act on it. So it takes those three: expect, believe, and act. Okay? Simple as that. And it came out of, the scripture reading came out of John 11, 1 through 7, 11 through 15, 21, and 43 and 44. So that's where the scripture reading came out of. And I just wanted, they have a number of reflections here. I'm just going to read. I'll just pick three of them to read. That's pretty good. To kind of keep your mind in reference to this this lesson. I'll read this one. God is always in control. See, it doesn't matter what's going on in the world. Doesn't matter who's president. None of that. God is always in control. Let's see. Our miracle is on the way. We must step out in faith. See, you got to step out in faith. See, not step out foolishly, but step out in faith. Uh, and I'll read this last one. There's a few of them on this paper, but I'll read one more. Uh, There's no better place to put your trust than in the one and only Lord and God, Jesus Christ. And that needs no explanation. So I just wanted to read a little of that. But of course, also what was talked about in Bible study, Elder Lawrence Blake, who is the leader of the Bible study that I attend, which is Bishop Blake's son. I attend what they call now the Cru Bible study. And he was going along the lines of just saying that same thing about, he was trying to compare to, it's one thing to, well, say that you believe in God, but there's another thing to, do you really know God? See, there's a difference between believing in him and really knowing him. And of course, he came out of John 3. And that's where Nicodemus was talking to Jesus and was asking him about, well, because Jesus was telling him, well, you must be born again. But Nicodemus was confused. He was like, what do you mean born again? You got to go back in your mother's womb and be born? But no, Jesus was trying to refer to being born again in the Spirit. And that's the way it is. And he was coming out of, Elder Lawrence was coming out of, okay, there's a difference between believing in God and knowing there's a God, but it's another thing to really know God. So, and I'm just going to share what I said in the Bible study in regards to that. One hand, there's the belief in knowing there's a God, as opposed to God being an experience. And that's what I was sharing. It was, as you get to know God and get to know him, the main way you got to get to know him is through his word. That's all. That's simply all we have to really know about God and what he says is through his word. Because we are not only hearers of the word, but doers in the word. So he don't expect us to just open the Bible, read it, and be like, oh, close it back up and don't change our lives. He means for us to read it and then ingest it into our spirit and then let it become a living word. That's the bottom line. We got to get it here for it to manifest outwardly. Okay? It can't just be a book. There's a difference between all other books and the book. The Bible is the book, the living word. It's a living word. It ain't supposed to be meant to just read like any other book and just sit it on the shelf. No, it's a living word. You read it and then take it into your spirit and then live it outwardly. So there you go. So that's where we got to be. There's a difference between believing in God, knowing that there's a God, as opposed to really knowing the God who created us and who we serve. And it's up to us, each one of us individually, to make that decision for ourselves. Do you want God to be just a belief, or do you want him to be an experience in your life? And that's only something that you can decide for yourself. And this takes a growth in maturity and process for you to get to that point. I mean, you never stop growing as long as you're on this side of the earth. It's a constant growth process, and it's an individual process. So wherever you're at today, you can start from where you're at today and continue to grow and learn and really understand about God and his word. Okay? From wherever you're at today, you don't have to worry about, like they say, playing the comparison game and worrying about somebody else's world. Focus on your own road. Start from where you're at as of today, and then take that, have that willingness and determination to grow from where you're at to bigger and better things and higher heights. Okay? This is an individual walk. You ain't got to worry about comparing your walk to nobody else. This is an individual walk that we all take with Christ. See, there's certain things we do corporately together, but when it comes to really being on board with Jesus, it's a one-on-one relationship. And your one-on-one relationship is like no other because you're you and there's nobody else in the world like you. So this is an individual walk. Wherever you're at, you worry about your road. Don't focus on nobody else's road. What God got for them is for them. What God got for you is for you. So focus, and I know that's so easier said than done. That's so easier said than done because it's so easy for us to look at someone else and say, well, look what they got and I don't have nothing. But what do I say all the time? God does not make giftless people. I say that all the time. He doesn't make giftless people. He doesn't do it. He's blessed you with something to bless the world with. Maybe just your little corner of the world, but he's given everyone something, one gift, if it's nothing but one gift, to bless the world with. Maybe the entire world, or maybe just your little corner of the world. He's giving you something to bless someone with, because as we know, we are blessed to be a blessing. So, and that's up to us in our individual walk to figure out what that gift is. If we don't know, see, you may not know what your gift is, and I understand that. But don't say that you don't have any gifts. See, people make the mistake saying, oh, I don't have any. Yeah, you got something. You may not know what it is, but you have something. And that's what you find out that's part of what you find out in your individual relationship with Christ. Christ, what do you have for me to do? Have you ever asked him, or have you just tried to figure it out on your own? Look, save yourself the trouble. Christ, what do you have me here for a reason? I'm not just existing. He has nobody here just existing and surviving. Look, Lord, you have me here for a purpose and a reason. What is it? And he'll show you little by little. He don't tell it all to you because you run away and not want to do it. But he gives it to you by step, little by little. And as you willing to have the faith to take the one step, he'll give you another step and another step and another and another. You know, as they say, he don't take you past your last act of disobedience. As you obey in one thing, he'll give you something else and give you something else. Little simple, minute things it can be. He can tell you to go to this place, talk to this person, such and such as this. Go to the word and read this verse. It can be anything that he's instructing you to do, because he will give you complete and detailed instructions. Now, you can ignore the instructions or don't recognize that they're instructions, but he will instruct you. He's constantly instructing you. Constantly. He's constantly speaking to you. Now, you can have a closed ear and not hear it, or choose just straight up not to hear it, but he's constantly speaking to you and instructing you. And it's up to us, as I say all the time, to have that tuned ear to hear. It's up to you. And definitely want to share about tonight, as well as going to the West A Bible study. I also checked out the Ascend Bible study, which is the Bible study taught that's put on by Holly Carter and Robbie Reed, and taught by Devon Franklin. And as I was coming in, because I got there and got in on the last about at least 20 minutes or so, and what he was talking about while I was there was about the importance of fasting, which is definitely it's something about fasting that brings about another whole focus. And there's different types of fast, but nothing beats a good old, fasting from food. I know they talk about how you can fast from the computer and fast from the phone and all that, but nothing really beats a good out fasting from food. Nothing beats fasting from food. It's something about when you're willing to turn your plate down. It brings about such a focus. Sharon, I see you watching. Thank you for tuning in. It brings about such a focus that's really unreal. And he was talking about that tonight, the importance of fasting. And I'll just share real quick about which was my first fasting experience. I think that was 2004, and that's when I was still doing background work heavily. Well, and this is something that was definitely God, because the closer and sometimes I still have it where the closest sometimes I get to fasting is fasting between meals. You know, I fast from in between breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay. Eric, I see you're watching. Thank you for tuning in. But yeah, sometimes that's the closest I get to fasting, is in between breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Yeah, that's the fast. Just from one meal to the other. That's my ideal of fasting personally. But fasting brings about such a focus. It really can bring about such a focus. And back to what I was sharing, I believe it was 2004 where he led me to really fast for the first time. Now, I was doing background work heavily, and I mean, this was really God led, because like I said, I'm a person, what I would consider a foodie. Okay, I love my food. So, like I told you, my past experiences before that was fasting between breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay, that's about as fast as it got. But he really led me, and this was really God led for me to fast. I ended up, for the first time fasting, I ended up fasting a whole week on just liquids. First time fast. Touch your neighbor, say a whole week of just liquids. That was God led. That's all I got to say. Because Jackie don't. I was like I said, first time fasting. And it was funny, that week I had a job with the exception of one day, because if you think like within that week, going from, of course, the Monday through a Friday, I had jobs, because like I said, I was doing background work, and I had a job with the exception of one of those days. I had a job each and every day. And if you're familiar with being on the sets, look, touch your neighbor and say craft service and catering. Around me all day, every day for them 4 days. I mean, when the Bible talking about flee, I had to flee the hot cakes. I had to flee the eggs. I had to flee the ham. I had to flee the donuts. Literally flee the donuts. Okay? Because if you're not familiar with being on the set, food is around you all the time. They got the craft service, that they set up with all the little pastries and things like that. And then they got, if you're somewhere on location, they got the catering trucks coming with breakfast and then lunch and dinner if you stay there that late. So it's like food was all around me all that week for 4 of them days. It was just one of them days where I didn't have a job. Otherwise, just nonstop food all around me. For a first time fast, right? But the Lord gave me the strength to carry on for a full week on just liquids. But it is something about the power of fasting. It really does bring about a focus. It really does. And see, we do consecration every January. Now, I admit, this time around, yeah. I admit I wasn't. It seemed like I kept putting it off. Okay, I'm gonna start the fast this week. I'm gonna start. The only day I truly fasted was last Tuesday night, and that's because we had a performance. That was truly the only day in which, out the whole month, that I ended up fasting. I'm usually more attentive to that, being that we always do this every. Well, it was just one of them things this year. Like, God, you understand, right? It just had to be one of those. But that was the only day, last Tuesday night, because we had the performance that we did last week. So that was the only day really this month that I fasted. So, but please know, like I said, fasting really brings about a serious focus. A serious focus is something that if you never fasted before, I welcome you to do it. And, obviously you ain't got to do what I did the first time, going a whole week on liquids. I mean, just, just go for like a couple hours or half a day, something like that, And if you really just find it hard to really think about fasting from food, then go ahead and try a computer fast or music fast or a cell phone fast, whatever. But really, to tell you the truth, it's really nothing like a good old turn on the plate fast. It's really not, because that's the original now fast. Because it's something about when you're willing to turn down that plate, it really brings about a serious focus. That is, when you turn down the plate, it really brings it. That's what I was frankly surprised about, that fasting really, that's all I can keep saying. And I know I sound like a broken record, but fasting brings about a serious focus to what you're doing. Whatever you're fasting for, maybe for career goals, maybe for finances, maybe for either yours or someone's healing, whatever reason why you're doing the fast, or if you do like what we do every year in January, doing the consecration to prepare you for the upcoming year, whatever that's for, it really helps to bring about a serious focus on what you're doing. It's something about when you turn down that plate, it's like you zone in it. And it really does help. So I welcome you to, if you've never ever fasted before, I welcome you. And this is the foodie talking. Like I said, still personally, my fast is between breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Still personally. I'm just telling you. Still personally. But I'm here to tell you, really, I seriously understand why fasting is one of the ordinances of the church. It's just one of the requirements, whatever you want to call it, of the church, because it just really brings about. And there's, of course, constant examples of the Bible that's of fasting. Every time a big challenge, certain challenges that happen in the Bible, and of course Jesus himself, fasted for whatever was going on, whether it was an issue, a problem, or whatever was going on. They fasted. It was different things in the Bible where they fasted. When they wanted to make a change, they fasted. They wanted to bring about change in the world, change in their lives. They fasted. So I really challenge you to, if you've never fasted before, do that. Definitely take the time. If you got a serious challenge, serious issue, or just for, it's the start of a new year. Here it is. We're about to, in fact, it's already, just let me see, it's already February. Tonight is the was the 31st, and now I think it's now officially February now. Let's see, yeah. Yep, tonight I believe it's officially February now. So it's February the 1st, so I might as well say we are in February now. It is now past midnight, so it's February the 1st. So here we are now officially in February. But it's still the start of the year, so we're just in the second month of the year. So this is still a good time for you if you've never fasted before. I welcome you and challenge you to do that and see if you don't experience what I've experienced, how much of a focus fasting brings to your life, okay? And before I go, just two announcements before I go. One, I want to welcome you to, let me pull it up because I got the flyer here on the phone. I welcome you. I seriously welcome you to come out to West Angeles. I mean, you're always welcome for any of the regular services to come, but I'm welcoming you personally to our Virtuous Woman Bible study. Now, these next couple of months is going to be co-ed. This is typically a women's Bible study, but for the next couple for the months of February and March, we're going to have a special co-ed session. Okay, and it's called, this is a series that we've been doing for the past few years. It's called A Love Worth series, which is focusing on, like if you're interested in relationship wise, it's talking all about when you're in that stage of your, of course, your singleness and how to prepare while you're single, or if you're engaged, or if you're married already, or if you've been married for numerous years. It's going to hit on any situation that you're in as far as relationship wise. It'll speak to singles, it'll speak to the engaged, it'll speak to the newlyweds, and from anybody who's seasoned and been married for a long time. Wherever you fall under that spectrum, it'll hit where you're at, okay? So I welcome you to come out, and it's going to start this coming Sunday, this first Sunday in February, and it's going to carry on through every Sunday throughout February and March. And it's being taught by Elder Mitch and Sister Sheba Williams. Like I said, they've been teaching this series for the last couple years in our Sunday school. I'm sorry, I was calling it Bible Sundays, Bible study, but it's actually our Sunday school class. I'm sorry. So Virtuous Woman Sunday School. So they've been doing this series for the last, I want to say 3, 4, maybe 5 years. Last 3, 4, or 5 years they've been doing this series, and it's that time again. So like I said, every Sunday in February and March, I welcome you to attend this special co-ed series, okay, for men and women to come out. And like I said, whatever you fall during the spectrum, whether you're single, whether you're engaged to be married, or whether you're newlyweds, or you've been married for a season, okay, you'll fit whatever category you're in relationship-wise. So I welcome you to come out. And our Sunday school takes place on Sundays, okay, at 8:30 a.m. in room 11, okay? And that's in our multi-purpose building. Like if you come to West Angeles Church and go to the North Campus, which is located at 3045 Crenshaw Boulevard, Los Angeles, California, 90016. So you go to the North Campus, and then you go to the multi-purpose building. Like if you're at the North Campus, you're walking in, you'll go to the right to the multi-purpose building, and then you'll shoot up those stairs. Like if you go into that building, and the stairs, the first stairs to your right, you go upstairs and you go to room 11. And like I said, you're welcome. It's going to take place from 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. So it's going to start this Sunday, this coming Sunday. It's going to go on for the next 2 months, every Sunday in February and March. It's starting this coming Sunday. So welcome you to come out to the special co-ed A Love Worth series, okay? And Elder Mitch and Sister Sheba, they are wonderful teachers. And if you don't know by now, they are married. They're the two that are bringing forth this special series. They've been married for 30 plus years, if I'm not mistaken. 30 plus years they have been married. So they know from whence they speak. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful session that they do that they've been doing for, I think, the past 3, 4, 5 years. 3 at the lowest, 5 at the highest. And it's been a great series, okay, every time they do it. And it's that time again, right? In time for Valentine's Day, right? Because I don't care what season you're in, especially if you're in your singleness, there's something for you to be grateful and joyous about. I know sometimes we act like it ain't when we in our single time, but this is supposed to be our time as singles to be able to devote as much time as we can with the Lord and focus on what He wants us to do until we're in that season, if He means for us to be eventually married. So, of course, we'll get all that kind of discussion, as well as hear from people from all different walks. You'll hear from single people. You'll hear from, like I said, those who are engaged, those who are newlyweds, those who are, like I said, have been married for a good minute. So there will be panels and definitely different sessions and whatever have you. So definitely come out starting this Sunday, okay? And it's going to go for the next 2 months. Once again, taking place at the West Angeles Church of God in Christ at the North Campus, once again located at 3045 Crenshaw Boulevard, Los Angeles, California 90016. And you go to the multi-purpose building, and you go up the stairs, and you're going to room 11. And it's from 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. in the Virtuous Women's Sunday School class. But like I said, it's typically just women, but for this special series, of course, it's co-ed. So please feel free to come out. Look forward to seeing you there, okay? Once again, last but definitely not least, once again, if you need my services for the Rip and Run Grocery, once again, if you need my services from Rip and Run Grocery, definitely check out the website, which is the Facebook page, okay? Once again, Facebook page at ripandrungrocery.com. Once again, that's RIP, R-I-P, the letter N as in Nancy, run, R-U-N, grocery.com. Just go to that and it'll give you all of the information that's needed. Like I said, if you are 55 and above, it's called Rip and Run Grocery Errand Service for Seniors. Like I said, if you are 55 and above and you need help with your groceries, once again, check out that website, which is the Facebook page, the Facebook business page at www.rip, R-I-P, the letter N as in Nancy, run, R-U-N, grocery.com. Okay? Or you can give me a call on the cell phone, area code 323-977-1709. Once again, area code 323-977-1709. Or you can email me at ripandrungrocery@yahoo.com. Once again, that's rip, R-I-P, the letter N as in Nancy, run, R-U-N, grocery@yahoo.com. So check that out if you're interested and need help with your groceries. Just go there to the website. Once again, ripandrungrocery.com. Once again, that's ripandrungrocery.com. Rip, R-I-P, the letter N as in Nancy, run, R-U-N, grocery.com for more info. All the info's there about the description, the mission is all there for you to read and check out, okay? If you need help, okay? With that, that is going to end this late night session. I know only a couple people tuned in live, which I expected, but I really just went on ahead and recorded this and stayed up late tonight so you can watch it in the morning. Okay, I know the majority of you, I knew I was going to pretty much tonight be talking to myself. So I appreciate, but shout out again to Sharon and Eric. They popped in for a couple of seconds. So the two of you can finish watching it when you get up in the morning, or for those of you who waking up and seeing this, then fine, you can definitely check this out and watch it in the archive, okay? And that is going to wrap up this late night session. Take care, and once again, if you need any info about me, about Thoughts for Vision, or now for Rip and Run, go to my website at www.jackieap.com. Once again, that's www.jackieap.com. Okay? Take care, and you have a wonderful and blessed rest of the